Hello and welcome to our 5 minutes with Ekaterina vlog about Dnipro, the central Ukraine. We are in the middle of December now, and winter is starting to be very much felt in Dnipro. We already had the temperatures about 0 degrees, and in the rural areas we had the first snow, and now it's about +5 or +3 above 0, which means that very soon the temperatures are going to drop, and maybe next week or after 2 weeks there will be -5, -7 as usual in late December and early January, and that will be the same winter temperatures as we had the previous year and the year before. As for the situation in Dnipro region, it's not very good. Previously we were talking about evacuations, and we were discussing that starting from the late August, people were evacuated from the villages in Dnipro region. Regretfully, everything is confirmed, and 2 days ago the Ukrainian government issued the document stating that 13 villages of Sinelnikov district are now the contested area, which means it is the area of the direct military actions. That means that Russians are already there and Ukrainian army is trying to stop them. That's very sad because all these villages will disappear from the map, and some of the bigger ones, especially thinking about them, is very painful because it's very nice area, the villages are nice, and it is a part of my reality, but also from the perspective of the danger that it poses to Dnipro itself, because some of these villages they are located alongside the highway, and if Russians are capturing these villages, it means that they will have the direct route to Snelnikovo, where we have a big station, railway station, to Pavlograd, where a lot of enterprises are still located, and to Novomoskovsk, that is very close to Dnipro itself, and it will also place Dnipro in the immediate danger. So it's very painful from the human perspective because I know people who live there, but it's also very painful from the perspective of the potential danger to my own hometown, home city. As for the situation in the city itself, we have numerous blackouts, and it can be 12 hours every day when we don't have the electricity, and for example they will turn it off at 9 a.m. and then they will turn it on at 4 p.m. only, or from 11 to 4. It depends on the situation. They try obviously not to turn it off for a long time, but Russians are bombing the infrastructure. Russians are keeping bombing these substations, electricity substations, and because of this the situation changes from day to day, but most of the days there will be very long blackouts lasting for more than 4 hours. And in my apartment I have everything dependent on electricity. I have electricity stove, as you know, I have the electricity heating, I have the electricity boiler, and my work depends on it because I need my laptop and internet to work, and for me personally it's a very big disruption, and it's also pressing, you know, it's mentally very difficult just to know why we don't have the electricity and what's happening. So that's why people are depressed, and also it's a very dark time of the year, and like literally, because the nights are very long, and after the Christmas it will be a little bit better because the nights will be short and the day will be longer, and maybe there will be snow and it will be more cheerful. But now the weather is very dark, and it's a little bit raining from time to time, and the day is very short. And as for the other things, we still have the same situation with the prices. They're just going up. We still have the same situation with unemployment. Everything I told you before, it's just continuing. And the most worrying situation that we are following is what's happening in the international relationships, because there are some signals, for example, not only from the United States administration now, who wanted Ukraine to capitulate under the Russian conditions, but also from our side that we are at least partially given into it, and we are limiting our sovereignty, and we are agreeing to do something that, under the pressure, obviously not voluntarily, to do something that the country that is losing the war is usually doing, which is limiting the army or promising to limit the army, which is outrageous and it's impossible. So the United States of America, together with Russia, are pressing us basically to surrender, and that's very depressing to watch. But even more worrying is that Europe is giving the similar signals, and this week there were negotiations that ended actually by the statements from the European, not leaders, but some of the European politicians saying that since the United States of America are friendly with Russia, now the Europe also has to join, and they have to resume the talks with Russia. They have to, if not fully abandon Ukraine, but use this frozen Russian money, not to give it to us to defend ourselves, but to have it as a card in their sleeve to blackmail Russia, and to actually resume the trading agreements, resume sending money to Russia basically in exchange of the cheap oil and gas, and that will clearly help Russia to get them more weapons and to potentially start the bigger war. Our intelligence says that if they were thinking that Russia may invade Baltic states by 2030, now the timeline is way shorter. We are talking about 2027, for example, and Poland is under the threat, but there is no agreement and no unity in the European understanding of how to deal with this. And some people just say, okay, we'll just give Ukraine to Russia, and we'll resume the trade, and we'll go to business as usual as it used to be 4 years ago. And that is a very dangerous way of thinking, because Russians lie, and Russians promise in whatever you would like to hear if it's beneficial to them. And if Ukraine surrenders now or signs this agreement limiting our sovereignty, limiting the army as they want to 800,000, for example, and if they would limit our possibility of participation in NATO or the European Union, all this will show Russia that this war is paying off, and they will have the trade deals with Europe again, and because they will see that the war is paying off, they will definitely invade again the territories that they haven't invaded in Ukraine, and potentially other European countries. So for me it's very dangerous to see it. I'm very worried looking at this, but it's not much I can do. The only thing I can do is to help Ukrainian people, to help Ukrainian army when I can, and a lot of it is done with your support. Thank you so much. Thank you for talking to your friends. Thank you for talking to your family about Ukraine. Thank you for your donations, for the donations to this channel, for the donations to Ukraine. It helps a lot, and it helps me to be mentally more stable, but also it helps tangibly Ukraine. And probably this is the last time I see you before the new year. It's definitely the last time I see you before Christmas. So if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your kindness. I'm very grateful for each of you, for those of you who support me for these long years of the war, or maybe who started towards this channel even before the war, but also to those people who joined recently, and who again send me these messages, give me this enormous support, not only with money, but literally with good words, and saying that you're standing for Ukraine, you don't forget us. Thank you for staying here. Thank you for being around. I wish you happy holidays ahead. I wish you a peaceful year, and I truly hope that at some point, hopefully next year, we will meet, and I'll show you around when Ukraine is reborn, rebuilt, and Russia is not a threat to anyone anymore because they are defeated. That's my true hope for the next year, and happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, happy winter breaks, and I hope to see you very soon under very better circumstances. Goodbye for now.